Man, who is this artist?
It must be heard. Radio.
Turn it up, 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 turn it up. Let's go. Turn it up, 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 turn it up. Let's go. It must be heard. Radio. Playing name stereo. Underground, we on the move, but selling the black on the ones and twos. Turn it up, 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 turn it up. Let's go. Turn it up, 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 turn it up. Let's go. It must be heard. Radio. Playing name stereo. Underground, we on the move, but selling the black on the ones and twos. Turn it up.
Oh yeah, this is your girl Michelle.
And it's Jet Black.
And you're listening to
The Must Be Heard
Radio Show.
Alright, welcome to the show. I know we sound like we're rushing right from the beginning. And for some of y'all that's faithful, you know, we're about 10 minutes late. Hold it, charge it to our head, not our heart, okay? We tried something new. The new didn't work out. It is what it is, alright?
Alright.
Moving on. Alright, so I hope y'all are ready to get the show started. We have a great show lined up for you with a great band we've been advertising all week. We're so excited. But before we get too far in, let's get started with the scripture of the day.
All right. Our scripture of the day is going to be one of my favorite verses, and that's Romans chapter 8, verse 28. It says, "And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose."
Yes, indeed. So, what's that mean for you, honey?
For me personally, it means that no matter what I face in life, no matter what I go through, that God himself is going to get me through, and that everything's going to work out for the good.
Okay. So trust and believe.
Amen.
Trust and obey.
Amen.
Sometimes it's hard for people to just obey, to trust and obey, and then be still, right?
Right.
And the one command is, you know, when you think about when Jesus spoke to the storm, he said, "Peace, be still," and told the storm to sit still. And all these scriptures in the Bible that talk about patience and waiting and how God loves us and he's caring for us and all these things, it's just one gigantic love story. And so you never really have to worry about whatever struggles and trials that you facing taking you out, because it's not meant to. It's not designed to.
Right.
It's just something that's designed to build your faith, you know, and a constant reminder that God is going to always take care of you. So,
Amen.
Well, I wanted to play this one song before we got down into the show, but we may as well just jump right into the music from our guest this week. If I can type here. Yeah. Tashia, what's going on? Good to see you. First, also, thank you everybody for joining on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. We appreciate you. And yeah, so if you didn't know already, or you weren't paying attention, we've been advertising Souls Awakened this week. Now, the Must Be Heard Radio Network is specifically designed to push music from independent artists from all over. It doesn't matter if they do CCM, Christian rap, Christian rock. It just so happens that we get a lot of CHH artists, which is okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But the spectrum of music that we cover is so much larger, and the reach is different depending on depending on where you go, depending on what environments you're in or what type of people you're around. And so I'm very eclectic. I always have been. My parents taught me to really just enjoy music, you know, and being a musician myself, that's what I do. I love music. So as long as it glorifies Christ. So I have been listening to this pretty much all week. This might be your first time hearing it, honey, but y'all in for a treat. So without further ado, matter of fact, I did play one of the songs earlier this week too on the Midday Mix Show. I can't tell you what day it was though, but this is I'm gonna play a song and then we'll be right back with our guest.
longer bound in chains. Free and oppressing yours. Love driven out the hate. Forgiving, I make my peace. Forgiving, my soul is clear. Forgiving, I won't go back. Forever letting go. Jesus cried, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. Forgiveness to all we must, for God has forgiven us. We must forgive, other God has forgiven. Yeah, we must forgive, other God has forgiven. We're told we must forgive. Endless mountain tides. Stop the hurt, free yourself. Break the curse, hide your bound. Free and oppressing yours. Longer bound in chains. Free and oppressing yours. Love driven out the hate. Forgiving, I make my peace. Forgiving, my soul is clear. Forgiving, I won't go back. Forever letting go. Forever letting go. Forever letting go. Forever letting go.
Let me turn my mic back on. Okay, y'all. So, as you heard, this is Souls Awaken. Let me just bring them on. Jason Harmon, Jonathan Woodard, and Rodney.
Jones. Yeah.
Sorry. Rodney Jones.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Welcome to the... Oh, look at my screen. All right, let me fix that. I can fix that easy.
Well, welcome on the show, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Appreciate
Pleasure
you
to be
having
here.
us.
Our pleasure.
Yeah, so let me get my wife's opinion because I'm curious of what she think. Yeah, she's not, well, I don't know. What you think, honey?
Oh, I think they're really good, really awesome. Love the guitar lead. That was awesome, and the singer was awesome. The drummer was awesome. All around, it was just great. You guys are awesome.
Thank you.
And the check's in the mail.
Checks in the mail. Hey, listen, I like to hear that right there. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Notice she didn't say anything about the awesome bass licks. I mean, that's all right.
Listen,
Okay.
as a bass player myself, I definitely get it. I definitely get it. Man, look, sometimes when it comes to that bass, man, people don't realize that's the backbone, man. If you don't have a good bass in there, you just missing something.
It don't sound right without it.
It doesn't. It's just all empty. So so yeah, how so tell me, how did y'all get together?
ChristianMingle.com.
Christian Mingle.
Good one.
Oh, my goodness.
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my! I'm pretty. Y'all see how this is gonna go already?
No, actually, our previous drummer, we've actually gone through quite a few iterations kind of leading up to this point. And our previous drummer, one of the things that he was really good at is, making connections, bringing people together, things like that. So all throughout, a lot of the things that he did, established a lot of seams, and ultimately what you kind of see today is what ultimately stuck. We just, especially with us, we really just gelled musically and personality wise, and it's just been a really, really great experience all along. So that's the really short story of how we ended up together.
Nice.
Got you. So I would take it that Jason, you're the one that plays bass, huh?
No. I actually pay somebody to do that. I'm just the face of the bass.
Oh, that's tough, man. That's about like, the industry always does that to singers. Too, they're really good singers, but you don't see them on the forefront. You see them, and you'll find out years later that they actually weren't the one singing at all. The person that they put in the front, it was somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, we actually had a rehearsal this last weekend, and I was the one that was doing the singing because Rodney wasn't feeling all that well. So let's just say that his job is really safe. There's no chance of me taking that, so I'll just hang out paying my bass player.
Rodney, you have a really soulful voice for that. For like, it reminds me of I always get this wrong. I'm pretty sure it's probably Striper.
Striper?
Yeah. Is that right, or is it Stripper?
I mean, yeah.
Probably Striper. Let's hope it's Striper.
I actually haven't listened to a lot of Striper in my day, but I've heard a few things by him, and yeah, it's similar in some aspects. But a lot of our songs, to be honest, like I think I sound different on almost every song. Like some bands, you hear them and every song sounds kind of the same.
Yeah.
And I try not to do that when I'm singing vocals. I don't know. It's odd how it works out like that, but it usually does work out like that.
Yeah. That's it's definitely unique to hear. Like I said, I've listened to the whole EP. Matter of fact, before I even reached out to y'all about doing an interview, I'd already listened. I was like, oh man, I want to see if we can interview them. And then I was talking to Alicio, and Alicio was like, you do know that, I was like, Alicio, you heard of Jonathan Woodard? Cause I'm finna tell you, Alicio Torres is like the support king. Okay,
dude, that guy is amazing.
Yes, this man know everybody's stuff. He'll call me and say some random person, "Hey man, have you heard of Upload God before?" And I'm like, "Who is Upload God, bro?" And he's like, "Yeah, it's an independent artist, man. Yeah, they got new music coming out. You ain't heard?" I'm like, "No, I haven't." Mm-hmm. So I was excited about talking to Jonathan. I was like, he said, "You do know that's Word Rat, right?" And I said, "What?" He said, "Yeah, that's Word Rat." And I was like, "Wait, so he raps and he's in the band too?" He's like, "Yeah, they still wear a lot of hats," which he has a hat right now, his Word Rat hat.
Yeah.
So let me guess, Jonathan, you must be on drums, huh?
No, I'm on guitar.
Whoa.
I play drums, but I'm not the drummer. I play guitar for the band.
This song made me feel like I should have played this last because it feels like a final battle on like Guitar Hero. Yeah.
That'd be interesting to watch. Souls Awaken on Guitar Hero. Yeah. Hey, I'm supportive of it, man. Let's make it happen.
Jonathan Boss Level Woodward. That's your new nickname, man.
Oh man.
So what inspired y'all to who writes the music? Who writes the songs? How does y'all's process work?
We all kind of do it together, right? I mean, like Jason writes some and I write some, but
Yeah.
We send it back and forth. Go ahead, Jason.
Oh no, I was just gonna say Jonathan is right. I mean, it's really kind of a collaborative effort. Even if somebody brings a completed song from start to finish with words, lyrics, and everything, we still ultimately all put our stamp on it. And I mean, for me, just speaking personally, the stuff that I've brought into Souls Awaken, it's actually that the guys have made it a lot better and have taken it much farther than what I could have just on my own. So personally, I'm really grateful for the musical talents that everybody brings to the table, and the collaboration, and the just the heart that everybody has for the material. It really just makes it all that it can be.
Yeah. So give me some background. How long have each of you been in your respective roles, like as far as history wise, like singing, playing bass, playing guitar? And y'all can kind of go one at a time if you want, or we can go two at a time, two and then take a break, just not at the same time. But don't everybody jump in to be the first one,
Jonathan, why don't you kick us off, man?
Okay, so I've been playing guitar since I've been about 10 years old. My dad introduced me to guitar. He played in bands a lot, and so he did the bar thing. He played at bars a lot. wasn't a Christian. Didn't play Christian music. So the first song I learned on the guitar was Guns N' Roses' "Sweet Child of Mine," and after that, I just started playing here and there. He taught me some stuff, and I played a lot. Spent a lot of time playing. Kind of slacked off quite a bit in my later teen years, but I always played. Kept up with it. Acoustic, electric, a little bit of bass. Played drums too throughout that whole time. But guitar was the main thing, and just got involved with a lot of nasty stuff. Was a dirty, rotten, filthy sinner, and Jesus saved me. And so then my life took a turn, and I started playing guitar for Christ. When I started going to church regularly and being part of a local community, I started to help out with acoustic guitar with the worship teams. So I've done a lot of that, led worship quite a bit for churches, and so that's kind of where it's gone. I've always had like metal in my bones.
Oh yeah.
When it comes to guitar, I'll go help. I'll lead worship at a church, but then when I come home, it's distortion. Crank the amp up to 11 and let's rock out.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So, all right, who next?
Go ahead, Jay.
No, that's all you, brother.
All right. Well, I always liked, singing and humming with the radio, and really never got in with a band until I was incarcerated for 9 years, and kept seeing a guy walk past my cell with a guitar. And I asked him, I said, "Hey, are you in a band or something?" And he was like, "Yeah." I was like, "You guys got a singer?" I was trying to want to do something with my time instead of sitting in a cell, And he said, "Yeah, we're gonna try some guys out tomorrow. I'll send you a pass." So he got a pass sent to me, and I went down and they handed me some lyrics and they started playing some original music, and they said, "Just get in where you fit in." And I started singing, and they was like, "You're our singer." So that's basically what happened. And then, I got out of prison. I sang in prison for many, many years, and I got out, and God had been after me. I'd been running from him, for a long time. And I finally started going to church. I kept getting invited. And my girlfriend, when I was a kid, which is now my wife, I ran into her 7 days after I got out. And she told me I was going to give me a hug and told me I was going to preach the gospel and I was going to sing in front of a sea of people. And I thought, this broad is nuts. And, it happened. So, I started singing on praise and worship team at church, and, Israel hooting, things like that, gospel. And then I ran into these guys, and, been going good for 12 years, man. Couldn't stay out before that, man. It was a mess.
So how did you, so is it the music that brought you to what would you say led you to Christ? Like, how'd you transition from where you were to where you are now?
Well, my wife, she kept trying to get me to go to church, and I was partying, and I'd been a drug dealer pretty much my entire life when I was old enough to do it, because that's where I was raised,
Mm-hmm.
And then I was an addict also, and I just finally kept getting invited to church from this guy at work, man. I finally went and got a job, and I was like, you know what, I'll come to your church. I like 6 weeks in a row I told him that, and I didn't show up, but I finally went, and I was like, well, that wasn't so bad. And then the following week, my wife and I went to a church, and I just felt like the pastor was talking to me, like he was speaking directly to me, and he wasn't even looking at me, like God was speaking to me. And I kept feeling like, don't go up there to this altar call.
Mm-hmm.
You're not like these people. And I'm looking around at these little old ladies in dresses and dressed all nice, and I'm in a pair of shorts and a tank top, tattoos all over my body. And then I heard another voice in my head just say, just go. That's all it said. And I went up there, man. And when I accepted Christ, man, I felt like the weight of the world was lifted off my shoulders. And I went home and threw away all the drugs that I had. And I started inviting all my friends, because I was the man in my neighborhood,
Mm-hmm.
and I started inviting all of my guys, that I grew up with and sold drugs with and things like that to church. And they all started falling off until they started seeing that it was legit with me, that God had really touched my life. And then they start calling me for prayer, wanting to know, hey, can you pray for me? I got to go to court in the morning and things like that. So that's pretty much how it went down. But I just surrendered, finally.
Yeah, that's beautiful. So, wow. You are now officially the third person that we've interviewed that kind of has this, similar backstory as far as recovery and coming out of a world that was dangerous. One of the guys that we know, he's and Nikki Gracious, the one we interviewed last week, was even talking about how he came from that realm, and how God just brought him out. He had to dramatically change who he was. And a lot of people talk about being schizophrenic, right?
Yeah.
And for some reason, I can never escape the thought of schizophrenia being linked to being demon possessed. I don't know why. Just always has been a thought. But anyway, I ain't gonna go down that trail right now.
Hey, I want to add one more thing.
Okay.
I want to tell you how awesome and great God is, and what the things that He does. The exact same prison that I was last in, well, the last three prisons I was in, did the world tour on my 9-year bit. I was at Lebanon Correctional Institution, and I had a CO bringing drugs in. And I went from Lebanon Correctional Institution to maximum security Lucasville. And then I went from Lucasville after 3 years there to Warren. I've been back to 2 of those prisons. After I had drugs being moved in that prison from the police, they sent me back in, and I preached the gospel in there. To be able to, for the door to open, I cried, man, when they opened the door and let me right back out after I gave the word. And there was guys in there, that I knew that I kicked it with. When you're locked up that long, there's people in there, and I was in the chapel, just went in a 3-piece suit, and as God was firing me up, man, I started coming out of the dress shirt and had me a tank top on, and they was like, I know this dude, and it was powerful. And just to be able to go in and then walk back out the door, I broke down and cried.
Wow. Hey, not the 3-piece suit though.
Yeah, 3-piece, man. I went in incognito, man.
I don't think he's missing your fedora, huh?
Yep.
Stacy's. That's great though. I mean, it's a great thing to see, where you were at one point and where God brought you from, and that reflection time, man, holding up the mirror and looking at it like, man, I can't believe this was me. Like, well, I did this. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's awesome. Jason, what? It's your turn. Jason always look like he's frozen in there because he just don't move.
He comes out of his shell a little bit on stage.
I'm like, is this camera stuck? It's like, did he lag out? No, I'm kidding.
I'm actually playing solitaire down here, so. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, actually, that's one of the reasons I wanted I wanted to go last because Rodney's got such an amazing testimony. Jonathan has an amazing testimony as well, but the thing about Rodney that has always just really kind of struck me is all the things that he's done, all the things that he's been through, and not only to see him kind of turn himself around, but to just observe him with other people and to see some of the things that he's doing today with people that have been where he's been.
Right.
It is truly incredible. And, he doesn't make a big thing about it. He doesn't want any, honor or praise for it. He just does it. That's just who he is at his core. So I wanted to go last because I definitely wanted to give, Jonathan and Rodney time to give their stories. But
absolutely.
My story is pretty simple. I started off as a drummer and then kind of got kicked out as a drummer. But I'm just kidding. They relegated me to bass. I was that bad. So here I am today in Souls Awakened as the bass player. Now, but I was playing drums when I was 10. And then I picked up guitar right before I went to college. I think that's probably a no-brainer.
Yeah.
And then, bass is just so much easier than guitar, so I picked that up as well later on. So, and I don't mean to denigrate bass players because there are just mountains of phenomenal bass players. But so that's how I ended up here. So, I kind of dabble in a lot of different areas, and but for these guys, that's where it's at.
So you have this is terrible. This is terrible.
I'm sorry to leave you speechless like that. I didn't think I was that good.
I was about to say. So you're so you have long hair. I guess it's safe to say you're not a pew baby, huh?
Not a what?
Not a pew baby.
A pew baby. Oh, no.
Okay.
No, actually, this is still my COVID hair. We actually, I got it. I got it cut a couple years ago, and we right after it was right before the shutdown, and we had just opened for Psycho Stick down at the Thompson House in Newport, Kentucky, and I'm like, all right, it's just about time for me to get my haircut. It's been a couple months, and then everything shut down, and I've got a white collar job, but I thought I'm just gonna see how long I can ride this, and it's over 2 years later now.
They ain't said a word.
You should see it when he puts it in a man bun.
Nope. That is an outright lie.
I'm just kidding, man. I'm just teasing.
Do not man bun.
Don't. We wouldn't let him show up on stage with a man bun, man. It ain't happening, dude.
What you mean?
Now, see, right there, Jonathan, that sounds like a challenge. Don't do that
to me. I'll be coming behind you with a pair of scissors.
You wouldn't have to get too far. You just clip the end right where his hair tie is right there. And that's it.
That's right.
That's it. It's gone.
Now, if I show up in a man bun, just take an axe. Nail it. Do it right.
Oh man, look, all right. So, off the top of your head,
I like how you segued there.
Your favorite band that's not you.
Because I know people, quite a bit.
Most of the time, people will say, "Oh, well, I mean, I like I used to be in a band myself back in 2011, I think it was. 2011, 2012, with a band called Taken for Eternity. They're non-existent anymore. Because after I left, I think everything just kind of went downhill. But anyway, everybody had different styles and different bands they favorite. Like my favorite band is Decipher Down. Period, hands down.
Oh, I love them.
I
Nice.
met TJ in person. I met all of them in person when Chris Furr was the bass player, and TJ was still leading. And those dudes, man, it's hard to find people whose heart match the music, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I was sold as a fan. We even got to perform on stage, like the same stage together. Like they were not long in the lineup after us. So, but yeah. So what you got? And I guess it doesn't necessarily have to be a Christian band, but I heard something Jonathan said earlier. I thought he was making a reference, but I didn't bring light to it. He said, "The dirty, rotten, stinking sinner."
No, I was just talking about myself, man.
I know. That's why I didn't say nothing. Come on now. That cherry pie. That's at the beginning of the song. I'm not the only one that knows this in here.
What for the song Cherry Pie?
Yeah, at the beginning of it. Before they start playing the music, before they start he says dirty, rotten, stinking something, and then they
Yeah.
Rotten, filthy, stinking rich.
Yeah. That.
Yep.
That song's that song's terrible, by the way. But,
Yes, it is. Very bad song.
Terrible
What are you doing,
song.
Rashawn, man? What are you talking about?
I am not promoting this song at all, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. Let me look at you in your eyes. I'm not promoting this song, okay? Don't listen. Just run away. Run away
There goes
fast.
our next cover
Man,
tune.
When it comes to bands like rock or metal bands, dude, I love Demon Hunter, man. That's probably my favorite band when it comes to like metal and stuff like that.
Oh yes.
I mean, they just got such a good raw tone, and like their lyrics are on point. They're Christian and their lyrics show it.
Yes.
Their song like On My Side is just a wonderful song. I Will Fail You is another good one. I Am a Stone, More Than Bones. Like a lot of these songs that it is just amazing band, man. And I love the message that they're just straight, unashamed, gospel content.
Absolutely. You said something about I Will Fail You. That really made me make me think of this song. I like that song.
Oh, it's a good song.
Great song.
What about you, Rodney?
I like Demon Hunter. I also like Disciple and War of Ages. I also like Journey. So but yeah, like heavier stuff. I really like Demon Hunter, Disciple, War of Ages, and I really like Decipher Down also, man. That was actually one of the first Christian bands I got turned on to, man. And I really haven't heard a bad song by them. I like every one of their songs.
Okay. What about you, Jason?
So for me, first, I just want to kind of touch on something you said earlier, with Decipher Down, where you said the heart matches the music. That really resonates with me. In fact, I just heard something recently. It was kind of a warning to not let your talent outpace your character, and it kind of follows that same, I guess, that same sentiment. So, but at any rate, I really have not been, I don't want to say exposed. I really haven't gravitated throughout my life to any type of Christian-based music or anybody that identifies as Christian music. I mean, I've played at church for probably the last 13, 14 years. It's been a long time. So I've been exposed to a lot of contemporary Christian, and then also some like really hardcore metal stuff as well. So it kind of runs the gamut. But I mean, for me, I tend to gravitate more towards towards bands like Dream Theater. They've always kind of been the benchmark for me. Listen to a good bit of Periphery lately. And even, just some I guess just kind of a blue jeans and t-shirt band, I've always just had a soft spot in my heart for Tesla. I've seen them, quite a few times. They just come out, no pretenses, and just kind of punch you in your eardrums. So it's kind of cool to see that just raw rock. Don't need a whole lot of pomp and circumstance. Just come out and let the music speak for itself.
Gotcha.
So.
I used to frequently listen to Reliant K, but that's only because I couldn't really tell what direction they were, and because they're kind of considered alternative. So, and they're not like explicitly Christian. It doesn't seem like anyway, because it's kind of hard to tell, what exactly they're talking about, as compared to, listening to y'all's EP and listening to the songs that y'all have. There's no question that you are that you point back to Christ, and sometimes there's a misconception when it comes to people and people who don't frequently listen to Christian rock music or metal or anything like that. Same misconception that it comes to people who don't listen to Christian rap and don't open their minds to the idea that there's something that God has given everybody to reach so many different people. So one of the I'm trying to think of which one it was. I watched the video to it. One of the songs that you all have,
Center of the Sun. If you saw a video,
yes. Look, dude, I shed tears when I watched that video, and I wasn't expecting to. It kind of took me by surprise, but just watching the story unfold and all of that. So let's talk about that song a little bit. Oops. Sorry. Let's talk about that song a little bit. So tell me, like, what was the backdrop, or for the listeners, what was the backdrop for the song? Like, what was the inspiration behind it?
Jason?
Yeah, so the inspiration behind that one is that it's one of those songs that really kind of originates down deep. It's really about just hopelessness in general, but addiction, depression, all of those other things. And it's definitely drawn from personal experience. And I think that that song was really one of the more painful ones that I've written, and it really wasn't meant for public consumption whenever I sat down and wrote it. And it's actually been out there I've had it in the hopper for quite some time, but I think the way that Souls Awaken kind of brought it to life, and especially with the outstanding work that Brian Day did shooting the video and putting it all together, especially with some of the things that Rodney was able to pour into that, and from his personal experience and what he's seen and what he's been through, really just made it powerful. We've got a lot of feedback on that. And, initially we thought that it was pretty risky doing that because it's not a traditional praise and worship song. It's not, there's nothing explicitly about God in it, but at the core of it really, I think is taking an otherwise hopeless situation that in real life didn't end well, but injecting hope into that and taking a lesson from it, and for people that are on that same path, to be able to see that there is hope, and it's not in drugs or it's not in anything of the flesh. It is 100% in Christ alone. Yeah. So amen. Hopefully that it seems like that came through. So that's great.
Like I said, man, it was a and I didn't come from that realm. I didn't come from, struggling with addiction or anything like that. Or at least not drug addiction anyway. And so for that song to even minister to, and the video along with it, to even minister to somebody who didn't come from that, who didn't come from that realm or didn't come from that world, is just, it's something to I feel like is noteworthy,
Amen.
Because that's just, it was just beautiful. So I'm gonna ask this question. It was in chat. I know, Jonathan's on top of chat here. Do you guys have any future dates as far as and I'm guessing she means as far as performance wise?
Would you ask Jonathan to answer that?
Jonathan is catching up to chat. He's on top of it for real.
I'm trying to switch between tabs here, man.
I got you. Yeah,
let me reiterate, Jonathan. The question is, do you guys have any future dates? Well, you are married, so actually we're all married, so I think we better be careful about that one. I'm assuming that like live dates.
We have future dates and present dates. No, we got some stuff coming down the pipeline. We haven't put it out on our Facebook, our band page yet. So what I would like to say to that, and Jason or Rodney, chime in however you want, but stay connected with us through Facebook, through our Facebook page, because that's where you're going to see the dates start to drop. We've got some pieces falling in place. So definitely stay connected with us and communicate with us. We'd love to talk with you and chat with you. But yeah, we do have some stuff coming up.
Okay.
Yep. And we're trying to, most of the stuff kind of is heading into the summer months, but we've also been asked and have had to turn down, unfortunately, quite of stuff up to this point. So our hope is that we can fill in some dates between hopefully like the end of March and the end of July.
All right. There's the answer to that question. So let's play that song for everybody to hear. This is Center of the Sun by Souls Awaken. Let's see something.
What just happened? Whoa, my ears.
Right?
Until
See, that's a case in point right there, where a song is brought to the table and those vocals that were laid down by Rodney are just like next level, just totally beyond anything that could have ever been imagined. And the guitar work and the tone and just every last little note and the way that it was played by Jonathan is just amazing.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Yeah, man, listen, when he gets in that in that second register, in that whistle tone, I'm like, okay, all right, how much more you got? Give me one more of those. Why you modulate like you're in the Pentecostal church?
Oh man.
So you're how old are y'all anyway? I'm just why not? You're not women. We're not scared to talk about how old we are. So.
I'm a papaw, man.
So how many years is that?
I'm 52.
Okay, it's not bad.
Prison preserved.
What's the key to younger, healthier looks? Man,
I that's genetics, man. I don't know. Probably because I was locked up so long and I wasn't out there killing myself.
That's one way to go about it.
Yeah.
I see Jonathan and Jason just holding out like they just like we're gonna just ignore the fact.
I'm the baby of the bunch, so I'm letting my elders go first. Go ahead, Jason.
I'm 29.
You dirty, filthy, stinking liar.
Why are you laughing? God,
he's 62, man. Quit it, dude.
Wait,
He's
what?
62.
He's like, what?
I'm 83 and going for the high score. Look out, Methuselah.
All right.
Oh, you want a real answer?
Oh yeah, we waiting on the real answer.
Well, see, that touches something I think
He
about.
got to think
51?
about it. He got to think about it. You said what?
51.
Okay. All right.
Trapped with the mentality of a 4-year-old.
You know, I can attest that's not entirely untrue.
I know you are, but what am I?
A child of God.
Yes, amen.
Let me be super saved right now. I'm kidding. Yeah. All right. Jonathan.
43.
Golly, man, I'm still younger than all of y'all. Gosh.
Yeah.
I thought
you should wait, man. If I shave my beard off, I look even younger, man.
Me too, man.
Look,
my wife won't let me shave my beard.
Mine
She's
either.
Mine like a little kid.
Michelle, I'm telling you right now, the queen of Must Be Heard Radio. And I talked about shaving my beard off a couple times. She's like,
ain't happening.
No. The one time I had to shave it off is because it was starting to get like patchy and my hair was getting thin when I was going through the cancer treatment stuff. And I was like, I don't like this slow fade mess. So if it's going to go, it's just going to go. So I'm like, you know what? I had my Job moment. I went in the bathroom, just shaved my head, shaved my beard. And I'm like, I'm not going out like this, man. And I come out of there, and she was looking at me funny, and the kids was looking at me funny, and they's like, and then our now 17-year-old daughter, who is hyper opinionated about everything, says, "Can you put it back?"
No, she didn't.
She's
like, Daddy,
put it back.
It's like Daddy's not a woolly willy. This doesn't go back on.
She's like Dro. They call me Dro.
You cancer free now, brother?
She was like, Dro, no, that's not a good look. I'm like, what can I say? You said what now?
Are you cancer free now?
I am, yeah.
Awesome.
Amen.
It's February 8th marked the 1-year anniversary of when they diagnosed the cancer. And July of this year will mark the third clear PET scan. So
awesome.
It was
Praise
there,
God, man.
Came out of nowhere, and was gone as fast as it went in less than 6 months.
Bro, I didn't even know
that's
you
incredible.
dealt with cancer, man. That's
awesome,
just something
man.
I can just keep you in prayer about, man.
Yeah, it was something that we didn't really talk about it a lot during the time, because we didn't want people to, sometimes when you tell people stuff, they'll either worry, they'll pray for you or pray against you. So we didn't want,
you didn't want your enemies praying against you.
Exactly. It's like our level of faith is as big as, it's as big as a mountain. But at the same time, I need y'all, everybody else, if you ain't praying for me or pray, or praying with us, like, we ain't believing for the same thing. Watch out, man. Watch out.
I had a bad experience with cancer and a great experience. My mother died from colon cancer, but I got to lead her to the Lord on her deathbed, man. So
wow,
yeah, pretty awesome, man.
Yeah, that's the one thing about it that I never really got discouraged about either, because being in the cancer treatment center, you see all these people, and I'm gonna tell you, it's not just contrary to popular belief, it's not just old people.
Yeah, kids, man.
There was one or two young ladies in there that were younger than me, and they were young adults, but still younger than me nonetheless. And I'm looking like, man, I thought, I had it bad, but when they first came in, they had really long hair, and all of that. And then you just kind of watched it, the slow fade. And that's what I mean when I say I just didn't want to go through the slow fade process. And, the whole time, that I was going through the treatments and stuff, we were praying that God wouldn't even let me look sick. And I was still getting up on Saturdays, doing the review show as much as I could. And nobody would know that I was dog sick from that from that chemo treatment. And I wouldn't. It's not something that I would wish on my worst enemy, because it is a life-changing event. Like, we had to change everything, change diets, kept the kids out of here, because it was my lymphatic system. So it was stage 3 Hodgkin's lymphoma. And found it out of nowhere. We dealt with COVID a couple times that year, the year prior. And after we had it the first time, I just I wasn't quite right. And ended up getting sick in October of 2020, and we went to the doctor's office. It wasn't the flu, wasn't COVID, wasn't anything. They just didn't know what was going on. I was running a fever out of nowhere, all of that. And then I was supposed to be interviewing y'all. I'm up here.
Man, story, man. God worked through that, man. Let him get the praise.
Absolutely.
So the doctor, we went to urgent care. The doctor was like, you need to go get this looked at, because I told her I don't feel anything else. I only felt like these lumps in my like kind of on my muscle back here, and in my neck, but that was about it. And she felt on them, but she didn't really say what she thought it was, or could or could not have been. She was like, I'm gonna refer you to a specialist. Well, I kind of downplayed it, because the next day I didn't feel bad at all. I felt fine. Didn't go see anybody. Went on, trotting through like normal. I got sick again in January, and this time my neck was really bothering me. Like, I couldn't really turn my head, all that kind of stuff. And I went back to her again, and she asked me, did I go see the specialist like she wrote up for? And I said, no, ma'am, I didn't. And she said, well, I'm trying to tell you how serious this is. I don't know what it is. I need you to go to urgent care, to immediate care. So this same day in January, I went from the urgent care to immediate care, and they kept me in there all day running tests and doing all this stuff. And they sent me from there to a ear, nose, and throat specialist. And I'm like, okay, nobody's telling me what's going on here, so I don't really know. What's happening. They're not telling me what they think it is. There's no guesses, no nothing. They just referring me to so many different people. I get to the ear, nose, and throat doctor, and he says, well, we need to do a biopsy. I'm very ignorant at this point, because I don't know what a biopsy was. He was like, I'm going to show you. And he said, let me know when you feel it and if it hurts or not. And he starts pressing back there. And sure enough, I was like, oh, okay, stop. So, from the biopsy to another specialist, they did the biopsy, did all this stuff. Met a really cool anesthesiologist, by the way. During this whole time, this dude was like talking to me about playing Call of Duty, fresh off the table.
Well, think about it. You sit there and you watch people sleep for hours. You need a release like Call of Duty.
Yeah. Cool cat, man, the whole time. And then even when he took my chemo port out, he was like, all right, man, where you at? Well, when we gonna play? I'm like, I'm trying to get with you, but I don't really like Call of Duty. So, but to kind of fast forward things, man, I was stuck at home. I had to work from home for a while. During that time, I missed a promotion I felt like I should have had, and probably would have had I not been at home battling cancer. But, you know, I get it. They won't say that, but I know they probably were thinking, man, what if we promote this man into this position and he died? Like, you know, as morbid as that sounds, it's just the reality. So, you know, they promoted somebody else, and then, so I was at a place where we had to really just depend on God. Now, we were still, you know, I was still working, so I was still able to, you know, pay bills and all these things. But, man, when I say some nights and some days it was rough. You come home from treatment. So I finally got it down to a science. I knew exactly how it would feel, the time frame, the days, all that kind of stuff. So anything that I had to do with engineering or sound or listening to music or anything like that, I did the day before chemo treatment because it would take me 4 days to recover.
Wow.
And it messes with your entire chemical makeup. So when they putting all of that in you, like my ears, the tones of everything would change, and it would be like so let's say a average person speaking voices in A, right? Then I would hear it in probably F sharp. So it's that, if you counting backwards on the scale, since y'all understand music, that's how far down I would hear tones. And so when I was trying to do these review shows, I couldn't necessarily critique on the aspects of like the higher low pitch tones and stuff like that, and the compression, different things like that. So I really just listened, which thankfully God provided me guests who understood sound quality and stuff like that during that time too, because they kind of helped me fake it till I made it. So
you got a good ear,
Nice.
man. And I listened to your comments on your reviews,
Mhm.
and you call out things like you help people out, and you'll say things about what they did before they even told you what they did. I'm like, you did that the other day with somebody. You're like, yeah, I knew. That's what I was going to say. I knew you did that. I
Yeah.
was like, I need to have this guy mix my stuff.
There's a God-given talent, man. I prayed for this, and most people don't understand when you say when you ask God for something, they don't understand what it means what it means to ask God, and He says He's faithful and just. He'll give you what you ask for, as long as it's within His will. And so I didn't go to school for mixing, mastering, or engineering or nothing. I just was school of hard knocks. And sitting at my computer one day and asking God to show me how to do this, because I couldn't pay nobody $300-400 a song to just sit and mix and master my stuff. So, you know, a lot of it's just come in time, but glory to God, man.
Amen. That's awesome.
So, just out of curiosity, and I don't want to like take things too far afield here, but throughout that process, I mean, what was it like to? I mean, did you think that at some point you might not be able to, when you came through the other side from your treatments, that you would have diminished capabilities in that area? I mean, was there like some fear in that regard, or were you encouraged that it like waned after, you know, so many days after chemo?
I really didn't know what to expect, to be honest. When I first started the chemo treatments, I couldn't do anything for a couple of days because I wasn't used to it. As time progressed, I really just tried it. It was trial and error. But not one time during that entire process was I afraid that I would either like lose a talent or a skill or die or anything like that, Now, I would get frustrated at the fact that, I couldn't walk the entire house. Like, I would get winded probably about halfway through the house. And I mean, this is the house that we're in now. It's not super huge, but it's not like, it's not really a small house either. So I get out of our bedroom and into the hallway where the washer and dryer are, and I kind of take a break, or if we start trying to clean or anything like that, because I didn't want to just lay down all day. So I would get up and like do little stuff around our room, but I can only be up and about for about 10 to 15 minutes. So that was probably the most frustrating part of it all. But I wasn't really afraid that I would lose any of like my gifts or talents or anything like that. Now I did notice that my fingernails had started turning colors, and my toenails are still black right now. But they're about halfway back to normal now. And this is over a year later, almost a year later.
So you're a hit around Halloween.
It just made you turn goth halfway down.
Pretty much.
You didn't have to paint your nails
at all. The funny thing is, and I love how innocent kids are. Because on my job, I would, working in wireless sales, so I'm in a retail store in Walmart. So you see all kind of people. And I would always get comments from people as my fingernails were healing. It was like dark on the tip up here. It was kind of like ombre, right? And I would always get comments from people like, "Oh my gosh, who painted your fingernails? I really like that color. Did you do that?" And I'm like, the morbid version of me comes out, and I'm like, "No, I didn't." And you really don't want to go through what I had to go through to get your fingernails this color. So,
Man, kids.
Dude, that's a good testament though to your faith, though.
Yeah.
That you didn't, have that doubt that you were gonna lose any of your talents or capabilities.
Yeah, I'm a firm believer in you put it in the air. God say he's if he already revealed his plan to you, right? Why would he let himself be alive by letting you die early before his plan is done? Unless you do something that just completely goes against what he had designed for you. For example, if God's will is for you all to be a band, for all of y'all to be together, for you to share in the ministry field together, with or without, even when you move pieces. I'll put it that way. I'm not gonna rip the Band-Aid off. And scratch at the sore, if you will. But God's will is for all of y'all to be together. So he knows exactly what he has planned for y'all later in y'all's career, right? Whether you know it or not. What can derail that? Well, if y'all decide all of a sudden, you know what, man, I'm done with this Christian music junk, and I'm gonna we just gonna start releasing music that's real. So it becomes real music for real people, and now you go away from what it was that God had designed for you because you're looking at a more lucrative route, if you will, and so. That is literally the only thing that I feel like can destroy what God had for you initially because you got in your own way. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So I'm praying and I'm like, God, I know you're not going. I know this is a test. We know this is a test. My wife had heart failure when we had our son, and he's 4. I'm about to be 4 next month. So, and her heart's operating at 110%. So I'm like, God, you've already done this. You've shown us what you have in store for us as far as the calling on our lives. There's no way that you'll allow yourself to be a lie and take me away from what you already gave us. And I know it's really a bold statement to say to God, but at the same time, I'm like, in other words, I ain't Job. So, and I'm not finna bow down and be like, I'm not gonna shave. The only reason I shave my head is because I needed to.
Did you use shells?
No shells. I use it. It took me a second to realize what you said.
And that's how they had, they back in the day they didn't have razors like that. They had to sharpen stones and shells and stuff.
Right.
Did you use Magic Shave?
I did not use Magic Shave. I probably could have used Nair, but I wanted to eventually grow my hair back. So,
Once the hair was gone, you put a little magic shell on there, and
I got a good Magic Shave story.
Wait, what? What, you talking about the magic shell chocolate stuff like you put on ice cream, and when it get cold, it get hard?
No. You have me fall out of my chair.
Magic Shave.
No, that's what I was talking about, but that's what you heard coming out of Rodney's mouth. That's hilarious. So, Rodney,
Jeez,
I think we would all like to hear this magic shell story.
I'm curious now, yeah.
Yeah, it's Magic Shave. So, my first time going to prison,
Oh, no.
I'm green, so I see on the commissary list Magic Shave. So I ordered some. It was in a tube. And I got it, and I put it on my face, and I started shaving, and I was like, my God, man, what is up with this stuff? My face is on fire. So my cellmate was a black guy named Joe Jackson, and he started laughing. And he said, man, that's for black folk, man. He took a spoon and started scraping the hair off my face, man. A plastic spoon. My face was so well cut up, man.
He said he took a spoon and started scraping my face.
Bro,
He did, man.
The visualization.
Oh, man.
Crazy, man.
Oh, wow. I had never heard of. I've never heard of Magic Shave. I've heard of Nair. You know what I'm saying? Who wears short shorts? She wears short shorts. Come on. We all from the 90s. We all know the Nair, original Nair commercial jingle.
Yeah, that's all I needed to leave here with that stuck in my head now. Thanks for that, man.
Yeah. So now on your when is your birthday, Rodney?
It's in March 22nd.
Expect a spoon on your on your wall on your birthday, just so you know. Everybody go get it. I do my cousin the same way.
That sucker, man.
I do my cousin the same way, dude. Every year on her birthday, I always send her a glass of milk. So the older she gets, the more regal the glass looks. So last year I sent her a wine glass with milk in it.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, I love inside jokes, man. I'm serious. That's the only reason I do that is because I don't know if y'all remember that he needs some milk. Those memes. And they came out, dude was like rolling around on the ground because he had took some kind of drug or something. And some woman was like, she come from the side, some black lady, and she was like, oh my God, he needs some milk.
I don't think I've seen it, man, but I'm going to find out as soon as we finish up with this interview.
Nice to know that milk is the answer to a person rolling around on the ground, overdosing or something on bath salt. Just get you some milk, man. You're all right. You break you fall down. It almost reminds me of the Be a Man memes. I know y'all seen those. You fall down and scrape your knee, don't get a Band-Aid, be a man. Forget it. Don't put your money in the bank. Keep it in your wallet. Be a man. Got no gas in your car?
That's right.
That's okay. Don't put gas in there. Walk. Be a man. It's always something like wild and left.
The internet, man, is amazing.
It is.
Where would we be without the internet?
Undefeated, man. Internet is undefeated. I promise you. I'm definitely prepared for the days of becoming memes just from doing live streams. Like when these things get up to 2,000 and 3,000 viewers or 200 viewers and people start screenshotting stuff. And I'm like, okay, all right, let's not do this. All right. We're not going to do memes. At any point, it's too late. It's already too late. All right. So check it out. I want to get into, man, we done got like this is how you know, y'all, man. I wouldn't be no good. All of us be in a room together, I wouldn't be no good at all.
It'd all be bad, huh?
I'm gonna tell y'all now. If I come to Cincinnati, I'm not coming to visit none of y'all churches because we ain't gonna do right.
We'll all just go to somebody else's church and just make a mess and get kicked out.
The minute that Sister Betty with the big old booty get up and stand up in front of everybody and start dancing around and moving around. Hey, I'm out. I headed back to Mississippi. I love y'all. Peace. I might as well be a comedian, man. Anthony Sullivan, what's up?
Man.
Yeah, usually the best way to take us is outside of a public forum, because that's where it gets a little bit dangerous and there's less cameras. So,
yeah.
And evidence.
I'm trying to tell you. I just, laughter's good for the soul. You hear it say it all the time.
Oh yeah.
And like, even when somebody's going through something, if you just, what I've learned from working in retail, man, sometimes if you just make people laugh, they're like, oh man, well, you really made my day. I didn't really try to, but okay, all right, thanks. I don't know what else to say aside from that, so I'm just gonna go back over here to avoid this awkward silence that's going on right now. Goodbye.
Man, I tell you what, that's the thing about, like, one thing about our band that I love is we just have a great time together, man. We cut up. We have a good time. We have a good time on stage. We have a good time just hanging out when we're in rehearsal or whatever. And lots of laughter happens around here.
Yeah. I noticed that hog you got in the background right there.
Oh, yeah. You see my baby back there? That's my other girl. That's my girlfriend.
Okay.
Don't tell Jamie.
It's too late.
Hey, no, she's got one that you can't see. I drove to Tennessee to get this thing for her, man. But she's got one over there. She's doing her motorcycle class. She already did it, but her temp got expired. So she's going to redo the class again to help her out, get a little bit more practice in. And then she's going to be out there on the road with me too.
Nice. So yeah. Is it pink?
It's purple, her favorite color. That's why I drove to Tennessee to get it. Ugh.
Wait, is it like plum purple or is it like lavender purple?
It's like Prince purple. Like
oh, that's fire.
Yeah.
That's fire.
I wish I could show him the video of you riding your motorcycle, Jonathan, to Indiana when we rode out there.
Man. It's just a thing that happens, man. Like, I'm riding and I just got my t-shirt on sometimes, and the wind, it just kind of catches the bottom of my shirt. My shirt goes, and so, I got dad bod, for everybody to see, and I'm not gonna pull, it feels good. So
you know what? Dad bods are in style now. That's why I'm trying to get out of mine.
that means you got a job and you eat good.
That's right. Listen, I'm trying. All y'all single men out there, I'm trying to tell you, if you get you a wife, especially if she can cook, you finna get fat, boy. You finna get fat for the first 3 years.
I tell you,
3 to 5 years, you finna eat all her cooking.
And then you're like, honey, we need to go on a diet. We need to go to the gym.
They could always be like my wife. Every time she don't do it on purpose, Lord, I know she don't. But every time I start talking about wanting to work out and start getting back in shape and all that stuff, man, she start cooking big meals. I mean, she made like, what was it? One year she made I told her I was going to go to the gym, start working out and all that stuff. And I had gotten up that morning before I went to work at like 5 a.m. because the apartment complex we was living in had a gym down there. So I'll go down to the gym 5 in the morning, get my workout on. I come back after about 2 hours, take a shower, eat a small breakfast, head out, right? I come home that afternoon. She done made spaghetti, fried catfish, coleslaw, all that. I'm like, what is this? She's like, well, I just felt like cooking today. I'm like, okay, I'm eating this. Like,
This is I'm keeping you and you ain't going anywhere. That's what that is.
Look, not
It's
that
like,
I wouldn't even want to be honest with you, but every time.
Well, I mean, the first question is, do you have a spare room? Because I could roll with some of that. But the second thing is, Jonathan, are you saying that his wife was intentionally trying to take him off the market?
Man, that's what they do. They try to force you into a dad bod. You know what I'm saying? They force you into the dad bod and they secure that. No.
It's like a global female conspiracy.
Yeah, something that.
Fortunately, I've been able to resist it because, I'm pretty rough, but,
Whatever, dude.
I was waiting. No, man, and then the other time
this camera takes away 20 pounds.
Takes away or adds? Because I mean, my face does look a little extra puffy.
No, my camera takes away 20 pounds.
Oh, okay.
It was a special order from Japan.
We're supposed to be playing music. Oh man, look. All right, so hold on. Let me do my just due. I appreciate everybody who has joined. Whether you joined for the first time or joined for the 28,000th time, appreciate you. Thank you. If you want to learn more see now this is habit now. See, it's like muscle memory. I was about to say if you want to learn more about Must Be Heard Radio, just head over to mustbeheardradio.com, but that's not what I was trying to say. Now that I've said that, if you want to learn more about Souls Awakened, go to soulsawakened.net or find them on Facebook at Souls Awakened. Okay. If you have any questions, anything like that, post them in chat. We got you. We'll take care of it. Jonathan is already on top of chat anyway, but if I see it before he sees it, which I usually do, I got you. We'll throw it up there. All right. Bills paid. Okay. So let's talk about. We got a choice between Smoking Gun and War Inside. Which one?
Let's go with Smoking Gun.
All right, so let's talk about it.
I like that guy. Do you guys have any objections?
No objections.
Play first, then talk, or tell me about it and let's and then play it after.
Whatever you like, man.
Oh, it's my show. All right, we doing it my way. Let's play
Whatever
it first.
you like.
This is not T.I., so I'm gonna resist the urge to say that line from that song. All right. All right, y'all. You are tuned into the Must Be Heard Radio show with Souls Awakened. This is Smoking Gun, and we got more music after that. Insert cool transition. I had to insert the cheering, y'all.
We get that a lot.
That way we get the real concert feel, you know.
Yeah, man.
Oh yeah. So tell me about this song. How did this song come about?
Jonathan.
Well,
I
wrote the song. I wrote the song and brought it to the guys, and we kind of made a full song out of it. But it's called The Smoking Gun, and the Smoking Gun, really a lot of what the first verse is kind of lays out what the song is. Mm-hmm. The smoking gun is your heart. The first verse starts off with, "You're going to do it again, ain't looking good, my friend. Give me just one more sin. It's going to be your end." And what it's talking about is, sometimes we like to cling on to that one more thing. We want to do that thing one more time, but we got a friend telling us, man, this ain't looking good, man. Don't go after that thing. And we try to escape for it. Where you going to run? There's nowhere to run because you got the smoking gun. It doesn't matter how far you run away. God always sees you where you are because of our heart condition. So without Christ, we can't hide. There's nowhere to hide. God is above us, below us, beside us. He's omnipresent.
Right.
So we have that smoking gun that always shows the sin that lingers in us. But in the second verse, I bring in the gospel where it says, "The appearing of the one and only Son has brought us close to God. Now we are washed by blood." And so there's the answer to the smoking gun. We might have that smoking gun. We might have that stain of sin. We might have been through junk. We might have done some terrible things in our lives that we're ashamed of or that we regret. And it's encouraging us that, hey, we can live in that regret and we can live in that sin and stay there and be judged for that, or we can come to Christ and be washed by his blood and receive the forgiveness he has through the judgment that he received on our behalf. And that's what it's about, man.
Boy, you put some stank on that, boy. I almost made me turn on the keyboard back here. Sound like you were preaching.
Come on, man. I'm a preacher at heart. So a lot of the stuff that I write, it has some sort of exhortation in it. Even in my rap stuff, you'll hear that.
Yeah. But yeah. Don't play with me, because I show plug this thing up right quick. Just
hey, man.
I say you behind the smoking gun. Ooh,
say it.
You behind the smoking gun.
I'll rock with it, man. You don't even know, man. I will rock with it.
Man, listen, I always play, but I got to shout out my pastor, Larry McNair, Prophet Larry A. McNair. This man, I was playing one Sunday when we was Thursday when we was in rehearsal, and he preaches like that, right? Well, I don't preach that way. I'm more of like a teacher, so I like to kind of take my time and I love metaphors. I mean, gradually just being a rapper, being able to preach, so using metaphors, I like that. So they haven't heard me do that, and he definitely hadn't heard it. Now some of the ones that's on the praise team hear me do it from time to time because I'm playing, and my wife hears me do it sometimes because I play like that at the house. I say, if you don't get in there and clean that room, I'm gonna put this belt on your behind. But,
does it work? Because I might want to try that at home.
No.
Okay.
You gotta have your wife after you say, "Well, listen to your father."
But I'm trying to get her to do it too. She won't. She's like, no, I can't do that. But he was like, now you play too much, because I'm gonna expect you to do that when you preach one time. I'm like, no.
Hey, man.
Only at the Spirit lead. I just, I think it's just fun. So Jason, you play more than just bass and guitar, right? Because I see that keyboard behind you. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Look, he
Yes.
See how he pretend like he didn't know it was back there.
Oh, what is that doing there?
This is Jambray.
Magic.
Yeah. Well, as for the keyboard, I do write things from time to time on keyboard if I'm looking to pick out a melody or like an arpeggio or something within a chord. But yeah, I started off playing drums. I moved to guitar. Picked up bass as just kind of a natural progression and learned how to play keyboard. Any keyboard player would tell you that I can't play keyboard because I really can't sit there and play keyboard. I have to memorize everything that I'm doing and just repeat it. So I've done live keyboards like at church, but it's very, very scripted. If anything goes off the rails, that's where I turn the volume way down and do something like this.
You got to make it look good, right?
Right. But yeah, I mean, I love exploring, lots of different musical instruments, whether it's computer generated or real. I just love the kind of the exploration of sound.
Got you. Hey, so Rodney, do you play any instruments too, or you just?
I do not. I just sing, man.
Okay.
Well,
I
play
tried
kazoo.
I tried to play keyboard in a band one time, and I actually did all right at it, but I was like, man, this is a lot harder than what I thought. Like playing and singing at the same time, it was like insane. To me, it was anyway.
I'm gonna tell
he
you.
can actually play a decent guitar though.
Mm.
He's kind of underselling himself.
That's okay. So humility.
You mean air guitar?
Look, even his fingers look like he knows what he's doing.
No.
Look, I'm gonna tell you. I was watching the guys from Dragon Force break down through the fire and flames. Right, took them an hour to break this thing down. By the way, the guy that plays keyboard in there, that's the real star. Because a lot of those like little fill-in stuff that they do. Y'all heard the song, right?
What song?
Dragon Force through the fire and flames.
I've heard it.
It is for any guitar player, it's a nightmare. Any person that played Guitar Hero, it's a nightmare. And I've only heard it because I played Guitar Hero, but then it made me explore what the rest of their stuff sounded like. The keyboard player in there, when I was watching the video, I'm like, this has to be a sequencer or something. Because there's one spot in the song where there's like this little, there's something that's going on in the background that sounds like it's just an arpeggio, like a step sequencer. He pressed the button and it just does the thing by itself, right? It's not. It was him actually playing it. So I was watching the video, and I'm like, is he actually playing it? And you see him on the keyboard, and it looks like he's just doing this. I'm like, is it spirit fingers? And like he's going
Spirit fingers.
And I'm like, is he actually playing that? So I looked it up. He was actually playing the notes for the stuff that we synthesize. You know what I'm saying? We synthesize arpeggios and sequencers and stuff, and you can build these things inside of digital workspaces, right? This man was playing that. I was like, oh no. Forget any like dexterity or anything like that, man. I was like, nah, jack of trades but master of none. I can play in the pocket. That's it. Okay. I can't do no extra. And after watching other people do like amazing stuff like bass players, I know you've heard of Victor Wooten, right? Everybody's heard of Victor Wooten. You play bass.
Yeah.
All right. The stuff that Victor Wooten does on bass, I can't do that. I can't do that. I can do simple chords. That's it. But I heard y'all doing some. Go ahead.
So you play chords on the bass?
I can, yeah. Simple ones.
I mean, that's cool.
It is possible, Jonathan.
Yeah, I just don't do it when I play bass. I do some popping and stuff like the boom bump, but I never play an actual chord on a bass.
It depends on where you do it at and how you build it.
I don't do either.
So you just boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, I'm kind of like, I would be great in an oompa band.
It sounded like oompa you were doing right there. Boom, 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 boom,
Doobity-doo.
Jason's a good bass player, man, and he plays guitar too. Like he'll send over a whole song. He's like, "Hey, Jonathan, check this out," because we both use Studio One.
Mm-hmm.
I use Studio One because he blessed me with one of his keys. So we exchange files sometimes, and he'll send over a whole session.
Unofficially, go ahead. That was official.
Okay.
Somebody bought it. Just
okay. Yes.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
No, I'm doing that for Studio One. Somebody bought it. Just don't leave them alone. Don't mess with them.
Okay. But anyway, like it'll be a whole guitar track, multiple guitar tracks. So he does guitar pretty good too. In the bass.
Well, is that so? What is that behind you? Is that a compressor back there?
Behind me.
Yeah, Jason.
Oh, you mean this?
Yeah.
No, that's a Kemper profiler. I have actually we're in the process of recording our next round of songs for a full album, and the EP that we did, we actually went into Fat Track Studios. Little plug for Rob Nadler there. But we went in and we actually did that really kind of all together in a take or two. Rodney's vocals were kind of added on afterwards, but we're doing this next round separately, and I've just acquired this thing within the last month or so, and it's great for reproducing tones. So I've kind of taken my amp or the amp in the cabinet and profiled it and just kind of playing around with some stuff. And it's also great for writing too, because there's so many different tones that you can load into it that other people have already captured. So if you want something that sounds like Van Halen, well, there's probably about 1,000 profiles out there that you can just download free. So it's really good for creative things. If you're just like in a certain mood, you just want to capture something or whatever, a certain sound. It's kind of nice, especially if you don't have all the amps and all the gear to be able to do that. Kind of cool to have it in a single box.
It almost reminds me of I think it's Contact. It kind of reminds me of Contact, except for the fact that Contact actually captures it from whatever instrument you playing on and how you have it set. So like let's say if I have my bass set for jazz, then and I play just a sample of it into Contact, and it'll capture that sound and recreate it. And then I can just move it around the keyboard however I want to, or guitars, so on and so forth. Or if you want to copy sounds from certain stuff, like the Motif XS8 series keyboards have really good tones for their pianos, like for grand pianos, and you can actually capture that tone from that keyboard directly and put it into Contact and create a completely different sample for it, and it would sound exactly like you playing a Motif keyboard. But I feel like Contact is probably better for like live, for like MIDIs, running MIDIs live. I feel like that's better.
Yeah.
All right, I got like 9 minutes. So
we've stalled long enough. Is that what you're saying?
No, I wasn't. I really was not trying to stall. I was trying to, I was really trying to get through the interview. I mean, jeez.
I had a great time hanging out with you.
I was going to say we just clicked. That's all. It sounded like I need to be a part of the band.
Here, wait a minute. Let me switch this setting over here for last 10 minutes. There we go. Okay, we're good.
I mean, I got a couple electric guitars right there, man. It sounds like
Come on.
The way Jonathan play them leads. I don't want to play lead. I just want to play in the back. That's it. Remember,
Come on down, man.
Remember, good enough to be in the pocket. You trying to pay? You trying to pay me to come there? This is Cincinnati, Ohio.
Man, we're trying. Hey, if you trust and believe, the Lord will provide.
I hear you.
You're like, yeah, he's gonna provide through you.
I said, the Lord just told me to tell you, he finna provide a way.
Hey.
Through you.
Dig deep in those pockets, Jonathan.
Through you. Dig in them
I'll
pockets.
pull my pockets.
And hand me your... You finna get a blessing right now. Tenfold. But I'm gonna need an offer. Okay?
We're gonna take those pockets from bunny ears to deep wells of prosperity.
That's what I'm talking about.
Hey, I'm trying to tell you. No, it's been great, man. Look, anytime y'all need anything, man, just let me know, man. I don't mind. I've been trying to stretch out as of late, and kind of change, or branch out as far as engineering and mixing, mastering and stuff. And so, I tested myself the other day. I had a friend of mine who sent me a song, and he's like, "Hey man, can you do this for me? I'll hook you up later." And I'm like, "Okay, sure." So I was like, "When do you need it?" And he's like, "Well, as soon as you can get it back." I said, "Okay, give me 2 days." It took me 3, but it only took me about an hour to mix it and do the mastering on it. So it took me 3 days because I was distracted by other stuff going on around here. But and family and 6 children. So
Nice.
So yeah,
That'll do it.
yeah,
Putting in that work.
yes sir, yes sir. As my son would say, yes sir, ski.
Them kids would be going skirt, 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 saying all that weird stuff.
Look, I'm trying to tell you, then they keep running in here every few minutes. They done all start playing video games now, the little ones. So there are 3. Hold on, let me think. 3, 7, 8, and 10. So
That's only 4.
that's 4. The other 2 are 15. I'm sorry, 16 and 17. Yeah, they don't do nothing but stay in their rooms out of everybody's way. So they done start playing video games now, which means that for my little poor Xbox that I call myself is gonna try to keep playing, it's not mine anymore. And I had to make sure that all 4 controllers work, because if one of them don't work, they're gonna run back in here. Daddy, Lexi won't let me play. Michaela won't let me play. I'm like, just turn it off. Just turn it off. Just turn it off. Watch TV. Do something else. Go do something else. Go outdoors. So where can let's drop the plugs on where people can get in contact with y'all and all of that too, and how can they book you if they want to book Souls Awakened for an event. FYI, if you book an event in Mississippi and you need any piece of a band, I got you. Again,
Well, if you're a bass player,
not scratching at the Band-Aid here.
Oh man, if you need a bass, if you're a bass player, I'm more than happy to step aside.
No, that ain't what I said. Nah.
Play drums.
That ain't what I said.
I think that's what you meant.
That's not what I meant.
No, I'm just kidding. No, it actually
It's got to do with the sticks. Pause.
we just got we just got soulsawakened.net live. We've kind of had a silent release of it, but yeah, that's where you can actually go out, view our electronic press kit, purchase music, purchase merchandise, and stay in touch with us as well. So soulsawakened.net. We're definitely still very active on Facebook. Thank you, Jonathan. Jonathan's really been our social media engine, and God bless him, because I'm so much more of an introvert, and he's done a fantastic job with that for quite some time. So
what he means is him and Rodney never post anything on Facebook for Souls Awakened.
Yeah. So regardless of whether I'm an introvert or not, we're just lazy, maybe.
Jason does a crap ton of work that we don't ever see. I'm telling you, like the band would not be what it is without Jason.
It's the swing,
no doubt.
Well, that's the way I like it. I like to maybe be felt but not seen. But yeah, so soulsawakened.net. That's where you can find us on the web. But we're still going to maintain a very active presence on Facebook as well as other social media like Instagram and maybe a TikTok or two. So
okay. All right. It's been great. I really enjoy hanging out with y'all, man. You really made the time fly by. I was saying that it's been almost 2 hours because I was surprised that the time flew by so fast.
Well, I think that was because we got started a little bit late, but that's all right.
That's true. In that case, we got an extra 15 minutes.
He's giving you a hard time, Rashad.
Oh, okay. Look, you can't do that to a preacher. You know what happens when you're in the church and the preacher say, "I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna give my message or read this, and then I'm gonna get out of y'all way in about 15 minutes." That one person that's in the back that say, "Take your time, Pastor." Ma'am. Well, I'm getting ready to wrap it up. Everybody lift your hands. This is you give me about 5 more minutes of your time. Take your time, Pastor. Take your time. Listen, it's already 2:00. Okay, we hungry. Stop saying take your time. Get out. You leave.
We've been here since 9.
Right. Go in the prayer room. You go.
The Lord said, "Let my people go."
All right, get out of here, man. Don't say take your time. Preach. Come on, Pastor. Come on. Yeah, but it's been a blast, man. I can hardly wait until either we bring y'all to Mississippi or we come up to Cincinnati or somewhere.
That'd be dope.
We are working on something for down here in the city that we're in Hattiesburg. We did go and talk to the city and have kind of spread word of mouth about the fact that we have such a great collection of great connections with so many independent artists from across the spectrum, and so we're getting them all excited for what we want to do as well. So we love to mix it up. And that's what I told one of the guys when he was talking to, and he's like, "Well, is it gonna only be rap?" And I was like, No. We're gonna cross the whole spectrum, my brother. Maybe not like bluegrass.
You ain't gonna put no heel toe dosey do up in there.
Well, man, if you got something going on in Hattiesburg, I've driven through Hattiesburg so many times, largely on my way to Galveston, and I would actually love to be able to stop and spend some time there,
man,
and
look,
actually do something.
Yeah, we fully intend on having something to do because living here, if you don't drink or smoke or club and all that kind of stuff, or go to bar hopping and all that stuff, there's really nothing for adults to do.
Sounds like the perfect place to hold a Christian concert.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Amen.
Same thing here, buddy.
So just bear with us. Trust me, I'll reach out as soon as we're ready. We just waiting on them to say yes. And we believe in God that they're going to even fund over half of it, if not all of it. So,
amen.
Nice. So we're really believing God for that. So, yeah, just keep in contact. Of course, I will anyway, because Jonathan be on everything now, just like Alicio does.
It's hard, man. It's hard not to join because, like, the part of that's trying to make connections with people. But now it's like, who do I get to meet now? Like, who's he playing now? Like, what do I get to learn about this? You know what I mean? It's become like personal. So
that's cool, man.
It's weird.
That's cool. It's not weird. It's cool. It's cool. It's a blessing. Yeah, you guys, man, keep doing what y'all doing. When's another? I need to know when's the full album coming?
Full album's probably going to be within, Lord willing, within the next 6 months. We started off with some a pretty aggressive schedule, and I think probably about 6 months, within the next 6 months, is probably a good timeline. If we're able to hit it really hard, we might be able to improve on that. But yeah,
all three of
definitely exciting though, because a lot of good stuff out there, and we're really, really happy to be working with the engineer and the guy that does all of our mixing and mastering. Really excited to be working with him.
Sweet.
But also too, Jonathan definitely has a lot of stuff going on with WordRat. Not only the current stuff that he's got out there, but he's still got some stuff in the hopper too.
I got like 20 more songs.
He just told on you.
So.
He just told on you.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. I'll be preaching Souls Awaken all the time with WordRat, man.
Oh, well, hey, why not include it in the word play?
Yeah, man.
Bars.
I already put Souls Awaken in one of my songs, in one of my rap songs.
Which one? I ain't got that.
I
ain't got it.
Okay. Yet I won't have to send it to you.
Yeah. A shout out to my boy Alicio Torres. I ain't seen him all night, but I'm gonna call him out too. But yeah, okay.
He got them souls. That's what it's called. I was having my brain fog. He got them souls. I'll send it to you.
Now I don't own a drum set, so y'all gonna have to bring one.
We can do that.
It's the one piece that I don't have. I want to get an electric one, but
can you beatbox?
Room? Absolutely.
Well,
absolutely. Man. Look, make me turn on my. All right.
Yeah.
Oh man. No kit required.
Except for when I had to be up there. Listen, I get into the music, so you know what I'm saying. You had to just pin the mic to my mouth so I can bang my head at the same time while I'm while I'm beatboxing.
Duct tape.
Otherwise, all you gonna hear is, "Hey, calm down, man. Calm down. Stay in the pocket. You out the pocket. Calm down."
You're doing too much.
Man, I appreciate y'all joining. No, man, this has been great, man. I'm trying to let y'all get out of here. I'm trying to get out of here myself. If you for everybody who tuned in, new likes, new shares, all of the above, we appreciate you. Stay tuned, stick around with the Must Be Heard Radio Network. Check out everything that has to do with Must Be Heard Radio at www.mustbeheardradio.com, including but not limited to events, the event schedule, show schedule, the merch store, all of the above. So if you are an independent artist and you listen and you want to submit music, you can do that on the website as well. Just click the About Us tab and upload your music directly to the website. It comes directly to our email. Last but not least, if you want to support the Must Be Heard Radio Network, which is 100% nonprofit, even nonprofit certified, 501, well, almost 501c3. We have our letter, but not the funds because we have to pay for that. You can do that as well on the website. Just click the donate button right underneath the player. So the player, you have the logo, the player, donate, and everything else. So, it's kind of like giving an offering at church, except I ain't pulpit pimping. So, yeah, I'm not telling you to pay your light bill to the Must Be Heard Radio Network, and then your lights go off tomorrow because we can't pay the bill for you. So I can give you your money back and you can go pay your bill. But you know, a cheeseburger money. You need to be on a diet anyway. So take that cheeseburger money and hit the donate button. Tell McDonald's Jesus paid it all. Not this week, baby.
I said, tell McDonald's Jesus paid it all.
They got me being silly this week, man.
Oh, man.
I'm usually like the serious person too. Like I try to get like locked in and do this interview real quick, knock out this 2 hours. It's all business. Yeah, I can't this week, man.
We done messed you up, man.
It's all right. It's all right. I get to be me. Like I get to be 100% me. This is me regularly. Okay, I'm always silly.
Amen.
I always walk around laughing, singing, all that kind of stuff, cracking little lame dad jokes and all that kind of stuff, and let my kids look at me crazy. And I'm like, y'all didn't. Sometimes even with the dad jokes, they don't even respond. They just sit there. They just sit there like, really? I'm like, do y'all not get it? Nobody gonna say anything? Dro, that's not funny.
Dude, dad jokes are for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you get more pleasure out of that than your kids do.
It's a lost generation, Rashad.
Yeah, you're right. It is but a flesh wound.
Me.
Somebody
Man, you done threw me sideways with "tis but a flesh wound." I'm like, no, he didn't just make that reference.
It's just a scratch.
Somebody out there in the chat don't get it. Here you go. Monty Python.
A lot of people in the chat don't get it.
Monty Python and the Holy Grail. If you don't think it's funny, you weren't nerdy enough in school. Okay. Only band kids thought it was funny, so. Oh man. Y'all got any shout outs?
Man. Who we gonna shout out? So terrible of us.
I got a shout out.
All right.
This is to all the world leaders out there. Men create war and want their names written in history books. But there will be no history books when the world is incinerated. Besides, you cannot ever be more famous than Jesus. So get your soul right.
Ooh!
Amen.
You better preach. Man, you know what? There ain't nothing else. Benediction. May the Lord watch between me and thee, while we're absent, one for another. In Jesus' name.
Amen.
Man, that's benediction worthy, right there. Shout out to my ex Boone Coon, my wife, my number one. She's tending to the kiddos, which is why she hadn't been on here most of this time. And because they got school tomorrow, even though for some reason the coastal schools like in Louisiana and on the coast of Mississippi, do you know they're out of school tomorrow for Mardi Gras?
For Mardi Gras?
Yeah, crazy, right?
Why is it because there's so much traffic?
Oh wait,
and craziness
tomorrow's only Monday.
Tomorrow's the 28th.
Because probably
March
most
1st.
moms and dads will be all so high and drunk, they ain't gonna be able to take their kids to school in the morning.
March 1st begins Mardi Gras week.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Oh, gotcha.
So yeah, I was new to the whole Mardi Gras scene when I first moved down here to Hattiesburg. I had no idea that people took Mardi Gras so serious, but there are king cakes and purple, gold, and green everywhere right now, and will be like that for the entirety of the month of March.
In Cincinnati, schools shut down for the Super Bowl because the Bengals made it to the Super Bowl.
Well, I mean, the Bengals ain't been to the Super Bowl in like 80 years, so
yeah, man.
I was exaggerating.
Mardi Gras happens every year.
Mardi Gras is every year. So is whatever happens on Beale Street in Memphis every year. Oh, Memphis in May. Memphis in May is every year too. and it be deep up there every year too. Two places I don't go to during this time of year: Memphis and New Orleans.
I've been through Memphis several times.
It's not Memphis, not that bad, but well, depending on where you at. Don't let me lie. Sorry for everybody who lives in Memphis. Love you.
I think Mardi Gras is one of those experiences. If you at least do it once, it provides a good perspective.
Yeah, I've had to work down there during Mardi Gras, and a lot of my coworkers would not show up for work during that time, and have even seen, like, my boss terrified me, dude, with this whole reverse psychology thing, because I didn't know he was a psychology major. I didn't find out until about 7 months after working for him and listening to him do this reverse psychology stuff on people. And this one of the young ladies was supposed to be at work, and he sent me down there to work with her, and I get in the store, she's not there. So he was like, well, get in their work chat, tell everybody to post a picture of them beside the clock on their phone. Like the store phone has a clock on it, right? So take a picture, post a picture in their work areas beside the phone. She posted a picture in there, and she posed like this right here, beside the camera. I mean, beside the phone. And when she posted it in the work chat, I'm standing there, and I don't see her nowhere. I'm like, what in the world just happened? So he's like, where's she at? I was like, she posted a picture, but she ain't back there. I don't know what phone she took a picture by. So I had to go and do research and watch cameras, and I'll come to find out she came in like 10 minutes, stood around for about 10 or 15 minutes, walked outside, sat in her car for about an hour, and then drove off. Was not in work uniform, no nothing. She just come in like she just got out the bed. Had a baseball cap on, all that stuff, all the way out of uniform. I'm like, okay. So he's like, all right, well, let's call her. Get on the phone with her. I'm just listening. He was like, don't say nothing, just listen. He says, hey, how you doing? She's like, I'm fine. He's like, how's work going? She said, oh, it's not really that busy because of all the parades and stuff. He said, okay, well, what you working on? And she said, nothing. I'm just walking around the store talking to customers. What few we got in here? And I'm like, I'm knowing that she's lying through her teeth, right? So then he says, so, you know, I know you applied for a manager position. Tell me why you feel like I need to hire you for that position. And I'm like, oh, here we go. Okay, so this is going to get deep. So she starts talking about how good she is at sales and how consistent she is about being at work on time all the time, how she does more than everybody else in her store, this, that, and the third. And he said, well, you know, honesty and integrity is a big piece of what we do here. And so give me an example of how you make honesty and integrity win. And she starts talking about something, and he said, that's funny that you would say that, because I've been in the store I done had somebody in the store for about 2 hours and they ain't seen you at all. And she stopped talking and started stuttering, and she's like, well, I had to leave. I already was late getting to work because the Mardi Gras parade was coming down my street, and I had to take a Uber to get to work, but I had to walk 2 blocks to get to the Uber. And I'm like, I just watched you on the camera walk outside and get in your car and drive off after sitting out there for about an hour. Really? First of all. And then second of all, you had to take an Uber to work. I understand that part, but you had to walk 2 blocks to get to the Uber? Like, she's like, well, the road was closed. And I was like, I drove through that same road on the way in here. And that road was not closed when I got here. So he's like, gosh, well, you're done. Turn in your badge and don't come back. I was like, whew. And so I don't.
By the way, my parents had to walk uphill both ways in snow to get to school every day.
That sounds like
you can walk 2 blocks to get an Uber.
That sounds like a what is it? Rugrats. His with Stu's dad always talking about I had to walk 15 miles in the snow with no shoes on. It was always 15. All right, man. I'm gonna get out of here, y'all. Everybody that has tuned in, we appreciate you. Thank you for spending this 2 hours and 6 minutes, because I still got to pray before we leave. With us, and again, it is soulsawaken.net, or find Souls Awaken on Facebook. Also, check out Word Rat Jonathan Woodard. He's a not only does he play guitar, he's also a wapper.
Can't even talk to you. Oh my goodness, bro!
This
you
episode
just got
has
me
been
weak, man.
This episode of the Must Be Heard Radio Show has been brought to you by the letter A.
Wapping wild wabbits.
We love to see you smile.
Gosh.
All right, I'm sorry. All right.
Can't believe you did that. Jeez. All right.
Okay. I'm trying to get down into being serious so I can pray. God, you know us. You love us. We appreciate you. Thank you for everything you've done for us. Thank you for bringing us to this show today. Thank you for these gentlemen, this band. We ask you to bless them, keep your hand over them and their minds, Lord God, guard their hearts as well, Lord God, in every territory that they reach, Lord God, at every place that they go. Let it be lives changed and impacted by the ministry that you've given them to do. I ask you to bless each listener, every person who supports the Must Be Heard Radio Network as well. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. All right.
Amen.
Man, you got me. I'm sitting here. You got me in one of those places where somebody's praying and you're trying not to laugh while they pray. Jeez.
I was trying not to laugh myself. I'm sitting up here like, okay. Yeah, stop smiling.
Thanks, man. We appreciate your time, bro.
Oh, yeah, man. I appreciate y'all too, man. I love you all, man. And, man, this is gonna be a really great year. It's gonna be a really great year.
Amen, bro.
It's gonna be awesome. We finally do get y'all down, so just bear with me. It'll probably be about the summer, realistically speaking. I'll just make sure it's not tent revival season. Because summers in Mississippi brutal. So Rodney's already dressed for the occasion. Yeah,
Rodney fit right in with a tent revival.
You know it, man. You know it.
And look,
he's got a pretty diverse wardrobe.
Yep.
Well, yeah,
shorts, muscle shirt, jeans,
and the 3-piece suit.
Right.
We got a basket of snakes we can bring with us too, man.
Oh man, no.
I don't mess with no snakes.
No. Listen, I don't know what kind of party you think this is, son. Listen.
Oh man.
We don't twirl snakes now here.
We don't do that up here either.
I used to work with a cat that told me he went to one of them snake churches. Man, we talked about him so bad.
No way, man. You won't find me in one of them places.
No, he talking about, man, and then somebody died down here. North Mississippi.
That's crazy, man.
Somebody died in one of them churches. They talking about he didn't have enough faith. I'm
Whatever.
like, thou should not tempt the Lord thy God, man. What's wrong with y'all? Every one of y'all slow.
That's sad.
Special. So, it couldn't be me. Burn the whole church up.
Yep. Only good snake's a dead one.
Right. There was a reason why we're supposed to crush their head.
Exactly. Well, it might be a good time to share my simple rules of wildlife. My rules are very simple. If it's got less than 2 legs or more than 4 and it ain't a fish, it should be dead. It's that simple. Boil it down to some very simple criteria. That's my theory on wildlife.
I mean, I often hear snake is good eating now.
It is. I've had rattlesnake before.
Oh, see
and
that?
it's really good. But see, that was a dead snake. I didn't violate my principles.
I've always been curious. So what's the texture like?
Probably chicken.
Yeah, it almost kind of tastes. It almost has the same texture as gator. Tastes a little bit different, but I mean it's kind of hard to gauge what it tastes like if it's got like seasoning and stuff like that. You know, if you're not
look at their faces.
Was it deep fried?
Man.
It wasn't deep fried. It was grilled.
Oh no.
It's like whenever I go to New Orleans, at least one meal of the day has to have some gator in it.
The gator, I understand. I finally had gator, and they got these gator bites at one of my favorite restaurants in New Orleans. It's New Orleans Hamburgers and Seafood, and they got these gator bites. That, man, them things are so spicy, make your nose run for days. But it's good though. And then when I see snake, it reminds me of calamari.
I like calamari.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of calamari. I've had good calamari when it's been done by like a real chef. I hate to sound like like pinky in the air or anything, but the rest of it just kind of like tastes like seasoned rubber, and I'm not into that. But the rattlesnake that I've had has actually been pretty good. Hasn't been too bad. It kind of has the same consistency as alligator, but yeah, I guess.
Speaking of which, I got some pasta in there my wife made for me to support my dad bod. I'm gonna have to go, participate in that, man. My stomach's been telling me like preaching.
Why don't you pick up a couple worms on the way in, grill them up, see how those taste.
Worms,
ew, man.
Man, no,
they're kind of like a snake. Dude. It's just not. It's like a snake that hasn't really committed fully.
I ate 2 cicadas this year, so.
Oof.
Oh, that was awesome, dude! Rashad, you can actually see that on our Facebook site.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to
go. Did it for Souls Awaken.
Yep.
They were crunchy.
And it was nasty.
See,
they wasn't that bad.
I was about to do something that only gamers would know what I was saying, but no.
See, I tried to give my grandkids $20. It was a cicada challenge. All of them threw it in their mouth and then spit it out on the ground. So I was like, well, Papa will show you how it's done. So I ate 2 of them. One with one plain, and then the second one I ate with a little bit of Souls Awaken hot sauce.
Oh my. I'm just.
You see why we keep this guy, man?
For the horde. Man, I gotta go myself, man.
Man.
Or we'll be on this mug all night, man.
Yeah. Well, dude, thank you so much. Really, just can't thank you enough for having us on and spending some time with us, man. It was great to get to know you a little bit better. It's great to. I mean, honestly, it was really great to hear your story about your progression through cancer and stuff like that. It's a really, really great testimony. So we really appreciate you sharing that with us.
Hey, man.
Most definitely.
Absolutely.
Hey, man, I appreciate y'all sharing y'all's as well. It's always an encouragement. I love to hear I love to hear turnarounds. I love to hear people's testimonies and stuff too. So it's always an encouragement.
And we'll be lifting up that beard. May it be healthy for so many years. If nothing else, for your wife, because she loves it so much.
Right.
We pray you won't have to shave it off again because it gets patchy.
Yeah, no. We're at full health at this point, so I just have to keep it maintained at this point.
It's very vibrant.
Yeah. So is the gray that's starting to stick out of the top of my head, but it's okay.
All right,
y'all. Everybody, peace out. Y'all have a good night.
Love you, bro.
Love y'all,
Take
man.
care, bro.
Appreciate it.
All right. Cheers.
Bye.
Come here, boy. What?
These pants are too big.
They are.
Daddy, got me an orange one of those.
Where is it?
In here.
No, I'm saying, where is it at? Because I had it in here. On the charger. Oh, okay. Let's turn it on and see if it works.
Okay.
I don't know. We gotta see what's on there.
Dad, I like green and wood.
You like green and what?
Wood.
Red.
Green and wood. Daddy, what's that?
Hold on.
What's this thing?
That's just a.
What?
It's like a. Arrows.
And what's this?
That's a button.
What?
That's the home button.